Today I'm going to talk about a 401k versus an IRA. So a simple way to think about this is a 401k is taxed going out. So when you're pulling money out for retirement, that is when you're going to have taxes. And then an IRA is taxed going in. So you've already made your money. It's already been taxed by the government. And then you're investing that money, and generally it is tax-free on the way out. So who sets them up? So a 401k is set up by an employer. It's an employer-sponsored plan. An IRA is set up by you, an individual account. 2025 limits for this year, $23,000 if you're under 50 for a 401k, $30,500 if you're 50 plus. That just allows for a catch-up. Same thing for IRA, $7,000 under 50, $8,000 if you're 50 plus. This is just allowing for catch-up. Income limits, there is no income cap. You can make crazy amounts of money and you can still, as long as it's an employer plan, invest in it. IRA, there are income limits. I'm going to share a link to that so you can see the limits for 2025. Employer match often has an employer match for the 401k since it is an employer-sponsored plan. For an IRA, no, because that is your own plan. Investment choices, limited to plan options. So whoever your employer chooses, let's say they went with Fidelity, they went with Schwab, one of the major banks to sponsor this plan, you're generally going to be tied into the funds of those banks or whoever sponsored your plan. You're going to be tied into what they've decided. And then from an IRA's perspective, very broad, stock ETF, etc. Tax advantage, so traditional, pre-tax now, tax at retirement, Roth, after tax now, tax-free later. And then on the IRA side, traditional, same, Roth, same. Early withdrawal penalty, 10% penalty before 59.5. Some exceptions to that. Same thing for an IRA, and then required minimum distribution start at age 73. Same for traditional, Roth, no RMDs during your lifetime. So a couple of tips and things just to keep in mind. Generally, I like to max out my 401k plan because, and especially from a free match perspective, so you're on your employer-sponsored plan, sometimes they'll say, hey, we're going to match 6% up to this, They'll give you kind of the layout, and I've done a video on this as well if you want to kind of deep dive and understand what those percentages mean when they tell you. But my whole take on this is that they're generally just giving you free money as long as you're putting up to their limits. So I always take advantage of this. General recommendation is use both if you can, allows flexibility in the fund during retirement. So if you have both of these as options, this is generally what I do. So I like to have both because, like I mentioned, tax going out and then tax going in. So it just allows you different options. Maybe I'm going to pull a little bit from this and I'm going to pull a little bit from this just to allow me some flexibility later in retirement. So it's more just offering flexibility. Those are the reasons I like it. And then another thing is watch for fees in 401k and see if you can waive them or just self-manage your own plan. So as I mentioned, your investment choices are going to be limited. I would ask your employer and see who is sponsoring your plan. Maybe it's Fidelity, maybe it's whatever the company name is. And more often than not, you can meet with the financial rep of that company. Just get an overview of what fees they're charging you and why. And this is what I did. And from that, I saved myself a lot of money. They were taking a 1% fee just to manage my account. I decided to manage it on my own and save that 1%. And they were charging me other like $40, $50 fees, just quarterly or yearly fees. So just things to look out for that you may not know you're being charged for. Those are the things I decided to do. And then I generally like to leave my accounts untouched. Obviously, you just want this money to sit in here as long as it can and grow to retirement, and that's when you grab it. I know there's circumstances where people come in and they grab this early. I generally just do not like to do that. I like to find many other ways to deal with it because taking money from this, like you've seen here, you're not going to be allowed to kind of catch up until you're 50 plus if you were to draw this down really quickly at an early age. So that's just my general rule of thumb. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me and the channel. So thanks a lot.